G'day guys, I'm back again for a short term just to give my thoughts on Bitcoin and a few alts. And this is the interesting stage. You can see Bitcoin pretty much blasting off from that support level. And actually that's my saved screenshot. Come on, I'm pushing it again. Here we go. So I have the dev cross here. And that could be potentially a significant resistance. We passed it. And what I'm looking at now is the 4-hour chart. I'm about to look at it. Interesting times, isn't it? Bitcoin's looking good, but that it doesn't mean we've cleared it. We've got to see that close above it. Okay, so let's go to the 4-hour, if it allows me. The buy zone was perfect, and I am in that trade with going longs as well as a high leverage play, so hopefully I'll benefit from that. I am looking at the 0.6 Fibonacci, as you can see on my screen, and what's going on?
For me, this was one cycle, okay?
So that was a restart. Here we go. So you can see, basically, if I remove this, a few of these, and actually that's the daily. So if I put the daily moving averages, this is the def cross. If we were to forecast this forward, we're just above it. Now we've got a reddish candle. So the other daily chart, you can see how Bitcoin's hit the pretty much the 20 and the, I think it's the 20 and the 50 moving average. When these cross over, basically call it a def cross, we can potentially have this as resistance. Even though we passed it so far, it could pull back, and we can probably find ourselves below this def cross, and that's not a good sign. So what we want to see is something more decisive and see Bitcoin hit this 0.618. But at the moment, we're in between. So, yep, great bullish candle. And what we want to see is a bull flag and then continue on. And let's go into the smaller time frame and see what's going on. Okay. So the entry was pretty clear. We had an expanding wedge, a bullish formation, buy zone based on what I've said in the past, that trend line, perfect entry, and the bounce. So I am still bullish. Now the question is, where's your buy entry and where you sell? So there is a possibility that this could pull back, and I do want to take my profit. While if it's going to pull back, then I want to make sure I get high profits. with the going along with the portfolio, well, that's a different story. But at the moment, it's looking good. And you will notice that a lot of the alts against Bitcoin have dropped. And that's temporarily, now that we've hit this area. So you will have noticed that Ethereum against Bitcoin, or if we notice Link against Bitcoin, they all went down for short term. You know, I don't see Bitcoin just rocketing all the way up. We're going to have some pauses. So this was a nice move. And let's see what kind of site, what kind of, it's not a big percentage, right? So if we were to take it from there to there, that's a nice 8%, 9% move. And g'day, mate. Yes, thoughts on BTC pairing dominance, especially Ethereum and BNB. All right, we'll get there. So Bitcoin, I like to see Bitcoin close above this level, just above these, that moving average. And if I just get my white out, that moving average and that moving average. I want to see Bitcoin just stay above it, and then we have something great. At the moment, this could easily pull back down to this level, and then we have this resistance, and that's not good. We want to see a bull flag, and we want to see it hit this 618 Fibonacci, basically at this level. So we want to see it get rejected. I actually got rejected at the top, as top as it can. So that's a good sign. I just wondering with this depth cross, because you know, people say that that's significant. Well, it's a lagging indicator, so at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean that it's going to be the resistance, but it's got confluence with this area as well. So now, is it the moving average that's causing the resistance, or is this previous high is causing the resistance? And that's, you can't determine it until later on. But I'm still bullish, and I do expect a bit of a bear flag here. I mean a bull flag, some sort of consolidation, and then hit the 618, and then pretty much sit above this level, and that'll be nice. If we sit above these moving averages, beautiful. All right, that's what I got for Bitcoin. And let me say that. What have I got here? I've got Link. Link is doing well. No, I don't want to play the video. Here we go. So on my left is Link against the USD, and on my right I've got Link against Bitcoin. And that recent move from Bitcoin has just slowed us down a bit. So it's pulled back into that formation. And if that formation is, can we make this formation any different? That was the breakout. Does it look like it's going to retest this area? Yep, it does. This is a pairing. And I did say that's the resistance area. So if I was to go trading this, that would have been a good area. This is still a good entrance point, actually, with the pairing, because Bitcoin has hit resistance, and it's like that Link over here on the left is going to continue to rally up. So I would not swap, but just to be sure, I would like to see Link on the pairing break that trend right there, this black line. So I'll make it blue now, or make it orange actually, make it stand out a bit. I like to see Link break that level, and there is a sort of a micro structure there, like a triangle breakout. So that is bullish, but has it got momentum to keep going? So we have this blue line, orange line that acting as resistance. So I want to see past that level for Link, and that's all I got for Link at the moment with the pairing. And against the US dollar, I see it keep going because it's broken this level, this structure, and it can count it easy. So if you go A, B, C, D, E, and now we're going to hit, and we should hit around this level here. Why does it stays white? I don't know. Anyway, so that's the area I'm looking for, and I'll put a video post because that's pretty much the all-time high. And if it passes that, we want to see that the next level will be $47 or so, will be the next resistance. If it breaks decisively across it and pulls back, then maybe it could be support. But there's a long way to go for Link. But so far, so good. I'll leave it at that. Luna, all right. Let's go to, what was the first one? Ethereum pairing and BNB, right. So let's Ethereum. I do see Ethereum dropping against Bitcoin. I did sell some of my Ethereum for Bitcoin. So I got this level. This is the pairing for Ethereum. And you can see there's a lot of confluence with that channel in the top. So we've had a lot of resistance right from here. We constantly get rejections. So, and if you look on the indicator, so this is the daily, it's still bullish. It's not falling as I thought it would. And it's in the upper section. So it might just hang around, to tell the truth. I don't see it coming down. So I don't see Ethereum coming down against the pairing anywhere down there. That's not going to happen. Well, it can happen, but I don't think so. I think if I look in the closer up and zoom in, so we pulled back a bit. We've got 1, 2, 3. Yep, that looks like a bit of a top. So if we put the Fibonacci and look for an entrance, we'll do that. And I'll just make it black so you can see it. I'll make the lines a bit thicker. Okay, so it's at a fib level. You can see that's got a lot of confluence. The fib level, each one is acting as support. That's 618. I can see Ethereum against Bitcoin come down to this level and then move up again. Similar here. So it hits all-time high, bounces, and it might consolidate. But I think this case, yes, I do see Ethereum coming down against Bitcoin. On the daily, we have a top formation. It's not dropping any quick, but I have this. They have a bullish indicator. So not convinced that it will drop for. The indicators aren't telling me they're going to drop. The structure tells me it's likely to drop, but the indicators aren't telling me it's going to drop yet. And if I look on the 4-hour, there was a bearish divergence playing out, so it's fallen and it's pretty much hit the bottom, right? On this indicator on the 4-hour. So it's already hit the bottom. I've extended. So yeah, it looks like this is a support level. And there might be an entrance point as well. So let's look at another factor. Let me save this. I'm going to clear the chart. Actually, I might pick another Ethereum Bitcoin pairing somewhere else. Another exchange. So I get a clean chart. Here we go. So if I was to add the 10 and 20 moving average, I'll go to the 80-hour. 80-hour looks like it does justice to it. So if I was to put the moving averages, so I'm looking for a cradle setup. So that looks like the 618, actually, the other way around. So you're looking at the way I operate. And hopefully some of this could rub off to you guys. I agree swapping earlier, but on the verge of going back, yeah. So if I look at this previous high, it's acting as support, right? This fib level is not really doing the right, so I might move it there, and that looks like it's doing the work. So the 236, can the 236 hold it on this 10-20 moving average ribbon? Yes, probably can. I might look for the 12-hour. 12-hour looks a bit better. So trading the 12-hour, we might have to look at this level here. So that's the range. Let me see the 12-hour moving that. Yeah, so that becomes a 0.5. So my thoughts are, it's already hit that level on the 12-hour. So what we're looking for is a bullish candle on the 12-hour. Okay, so we've got confluence on the 10-20 moving average, and we have, let's see, Let's make it clear. That's a 10, and that is definitely the 20. And price is within the 20 moving average on the support level. Right now, if it holds this level, I might reconsider flipping back over. So the next 12 hours, we want to see a bullish candle. I have a gut feeling that this is going to range sideways like this. I think it will do this before we get a decision. So I think price will fluctuate around this area, either give us an up or a down structure. And I think it's going to go up. Ethereum is bullish, go with the trend, but we want to see what happens in the next 12-hour bullish candle and so on. Some of this was easy to give. Formations give you some clue. And yep, that's my thoughts on Ethereum at the moment. And BNB, all right. BNB, you can see my chart. It's broken that level. Now it's acting as support. So that's my 8-hour chart. And BNB is holding. So that is what have we got? Let me have a look. Give me glasses. I followed it. We got, don't have time. I got 7 hours. Okay, so that's just new. So this red candle just closed on the 8-hour, and this green one just started. So we'd like to see that close bullish, which is either engulfed the previous. Looking at the MACD, we've got upward momentum. BNB on its own looks great. I think it's going to continue on. There's no likely of a crossover there, and there's no bearish divergence. So far, the path is clear for BNB. And if we look at Bitcoin pairing, let's have a look at Bitcoin pairing. So what I'll do is I'll split it in half. Here we've got the Bitcoin pairing. So you can see how it dropped against it significantly. And what we had, yep, pretty obvious. We had this rising wedge and in a breakout. So I don't have any BNB. I have a BNB short-term trade, but not against my Bitcoin long-term. So you can see how it's even actually hit the 20 moving average as a support level. So now if I was to look for long-term, it didn't hit the 0.5 Fibonacci. So at this point, it's a deep pullback. I would not. So you can trade that for the bounce. For going long, it's broken this level. It's hit its target. It's actually gone further. It might even go further down to the 618. So I would say for BNB, this will be the buy zone right here for support. It's headed south. This is the 30-minute chart. If I look on the 4-hour, and you can see various divergence with this indicator, crossover there. So a lot of things, yeah, even bearish divergence here, pretty clear. The MACD, got the bearish divergence. So that was coming anytime soon. That is actually a nice formation, isn't it? So just thinking out aloud, that's a cut type of formation, really. This could be the handle. So what if you had Binance? That's what Ethereum's doing as well. And if I was to look at this, I'm just exploring. Oh, right on that support. Perfect level of support. Well, thanks, mate. We'll stop limit spot order near flip rate from earlier. Okay. We'll play stop limit spot. Yeah, okay. Probably so. So if I was to put a stop limit on this, it'll be under the 0.5 Fibonacci on the pairing. So if it breaks that, it's going to go down more south. I'll put my stop there under that wick, because you can see the structure. It might have a bit left to go, but A, B, C, D. I think it's against it. Binance is not. So what this might tell us is Bitcoin's going to really go strong. So if this is falling, the alts might have a bit of a backlash. If Binance is one indication as a sample, so Bitcoin might just go really strong, wouldn't it? For the alt parent to drop. Okay, right. Let me save this. Here's what I hope for Bitcoin. There's a lot of potential in Bitcoin. So don't all just jump on alts. Have a look at this, and this is what I think is happening with Bitcoin. Let me just clean this up a bit. I might just pick another chart. Binance, BTC, USD. I'll pick Coinbase. Let's see if Coinbase is clean. It's not clean, is it? All right, let me look at another chart. BTC, USD. Bitstamp. Maybe I can afford to delete Bitstamp. Okay, cool. Now you can see, you can anticipate that Bitcoin it's got many formations, right? That looks like it doesn't matter if it's inverse head and shoulders. It just shows you that it's bullish. Now, if you look at that structure, this structure on the daily, okay, is an expanding wedge, which is bullish as well. And we had that somewhere. Where is it? We had it. Is that the one there? We had something there. No, we had it there. Okay, similar. Is it? No, not similar. No, that wasn't it there. Where was it? Where is it? Yeah, that was the area. We had that formation there. Okay, that is very similar in the structure, and the thing is with this formation, if you this was also inverse head and shoulders, but you get the height of the structure and you add it to the breakout spot, right? And this one actually exceeded. So if we were to get this, the first target will be the height of this to the breakout, and the second height is the total height. So I'm not sure where the total height is. So if Bitcoin's going to go strong to 72K, so the initial is about 62K, which makes sense because that's our sort of resistance level from there, or 61, yeah, right there. That is our resistance. So that works. And if the rest of the structure plays out, we're going to 68K or 72K. The alts are going to get a hammering if Bitcoin does this. So now let's look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. So we already had the bounce there, and I've been saying that there's even though I think weekly bullish divergence is in play. So if I look at the weekly, and you can see from our previous fib levels, it's already found support on the 0.382 level, and that has confluence along here, right? So let's get rid of moving averages. I don't need them. So that head and shoulders is played out. We've come to the level that is significant, and you can see there's a lot of pressure to the upside. Here there's resistance, here there's support, and we've just hit that level. For Bitcoin dominance to go up, and if I have this indicator, it's still not ready. but I can see pressure growing with these dots. This is the weekly chart. You can see this is the previous level where it got reversed, and we're almost there at that level. So if this starts to turn around, we can see Bitcoin dominance drop, and it's likely that the alts are done. So how long would that take? It won't be quick. If you look at the previous turnarounds, there's a few weeks in the making for the reversal. But each time, some alts will feel it. I do think the bounce will go to the previous resistance level, which is here. So it'll find rejection there, and then probably go sideways. Excuse me for the cough. Now, if we look on, so that's a weekly. If we look on the daily, you can see this is divergence, bullish divergence, moving upwards. So it's building up to the weekly divergence. Here we've already had, so over here we have bullish divergence in the making, even here with the MACD. So we can't ignore it, and you've got to play safe, guys. You can go Bitcoin dominant, alts, but there's a point where you're going to take a chance, you're going to take a risk, where you're going to lose. So if Bitcoin blasts, and I said in my previous video post that I see this as a significant move from Bitcoin, I would warn you not to put too many coins into alts. I would have a large sum of Bitcoin and I start building that up. So Bitcoin right now is hit a resistance level, and it looks very bullish. And if it breaks that 61.8 level, then it will go to the 62K. And so you better just time yourself, because the signs are there. Bullish divergence. Look at that drop. It has to have divergence in it. And we can see on the daily, this is the daily that's building a case to the upside. It's not there yet, not anytime soon, but I would definitely recommend that you keep your eyes on Bitcoin dominance. Yep. And just watch this level. In mind, I think we'll see a fair bit of wicks in this level. Okay, so that's what I got. Now let me look at any comments. All right, Luna. We haven't touched Luna. Well, we'll do that. You can see how many tabs I got. Let's just put my Bitcoin chart back where it was, so we can keep an eye on that. And there's a lot of stuff I've got to delete too, don't I? There was a bullish divergence. You can see that now the MACD on the day is crossed over too. So if you want to be bullish, you better look at that. That's a daily crossover on the MACD and a bullish divergence in the making. I've got this indicator that's gone above the 50%. Bitcoin is looking strong. All I need to see is this red one cross over to the 50%, and that's another confirmation on the daily. So Bitcoin is looking good, and that candle is looking good, and the 4 hour is looking good. So it's found exactly resistance there. Cool. Now let's look at, I'll bring it up on another chart. Luna. Luna used to be good. Now here's my recommend. This is what I suggest. Just because Luna went well last time, don't think it's going to go again. I used to do that a lot. I used to get burnt. I didn't understand why it wouldn't go up. Because you got to understand the structure. The structure it's in. So you can see here, I've extensively documented Luna because I was trading it a fair bit. When it hits, so basically this is the base. It hits 1, 2, and then it hits another base, a reaccumulation base. Then you got the next phase, and now here's another reaccumulation or distribution phase. So let me just document that. We've got this level. That's a buy zone for Luna, and you can see my line. So this broke down below that support line, which is normal. Tested that previous support, and I can delete that. Actually, get rid of that alert. Don't need it. That was me signal to buy. Now, is this a reaccumulation or distribution chart? See how we broke out that level. So that was a level. That was a breakout trade from there. It's come back down. It's testing. That's why is it testing? So I don't want the 1 hour. I'll go for 4 hour. 4 hour tells us a bit more. I get the FIP extension. So it bounced off, bounce off the 0.5 Fibonacci. There is no trend, so to say. So it's not something you can easily predict. If there's no trend, there's no trade entrance really. And the structure that's done so far, let's just see where it's finding support, and if it's a good layer, good level. So what we're going to do is get the top. I'll make it blue. I'll make it thinner so it doesn't overdo us. So basically on the 618, it's found support, which is good. So at this level, again, that level, resistance, support, resistance, 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 support. So that was a good entrance point. In terms of how this is going to go, it's not easy to tell, is it? Is this a formation? So is that a formation that we can trust? A descending wedge and a breakout? No, I don't think it is. Just the way it's behaving. I don't think this structure is actually in play. And the reason why I'll say that is I'll look at the chart and there's no bullish divergence. Usually when there's a descending wedge, you look for a bullish divergence. The MACD has a little bit on the 4 hour, but not significant. So RSI is below 50% on the 4 hour, not good. And this is turned around, but it's likely to drop more down. So this is sideways ranging, and I would not choose this unless I bought down there, which is the accumulation area. That way you got a buffer. Right now, I'm not interested in buying any of that. I wouldn't be, because there is no trend. And if anything, there is nothing giving us a clue as to what it's going to do next. So we could, for all you know, this could be another formation taking place, and it's a channel. And if that's a channel, and that's the bottom of the channel, well, it's hit the middle of the channel. So it could just, yeah, not interested. I wouldn't recommend Luna anytime soon. And the reason is because it's done a lot. It's profited a lot. And what it's doing is going through a phase, which is either reaccumulation or distribution. So that's my spin on Luna. FTM is what I posted today. FTM is looking good. It's hit my first target, and so I've drawn that level, and it's broken above that level. So let's go into a smaller time frame. So it's still looking good. And it's probably retesting this level there as support. So got the volume as well. Nice, good volume. So FTM, if you're looking for an entrance, I would look for a daily candle to close above this level before I jump in. My cake, I think cake hit my target, and and it's not going to go up easy. It's done to double top, and it's not going up, but it's definitely a target based on this structure as well. So I wouldn't be jumping into cake if you don't have it. And the Ethereum on its own, that's pairing. It's still pairing. Well, let's go to the other chart, and I'll flip it back. Ethereum, USDT. Okay, so I do see that was my first target it reached. It's hitting my second target. The blue area is my third target. Can it make it? Don't know. At the moment, it's that's the 12 hourly, and I can see dip. It could be a slight dip. If I look on the daily, it's still bullish. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about Ethereum at the moment. I wouldn't get rid of it. But if you wanted to maximize it with Bitcoin, I would say there was opportunities there to get rid of it. Now it's a bit too late because the pairing dropped a whole lot. And as I said, I think it will range. Okay, I just hope. Do you believe that Bitcoin is going back to 60K this week? Yeah, I do actually. As I mentioned in here, the first one is pretty clear. The 618 is strong resistance, and if you ever looked at the history of Bitcoin, the 618 is usually a rejection. Not just Bitcoin, many charts. If you look at the 618, if I was to do that from there to there, you can see the 618 was resistance. Where are we going? Just reverse that. You can see how 618 was resistance there, and the 0.5 was initial resistance. You can see. So 0.5 is usually the resistance. So price bounces, it hits the 0.5, bounces, and then 618 and pulls back and so on. So the 618 for me has confluence along this area. So if I was to draw that line back to yellow, that looks like a strong middle area of, that's a band, I would say. This band, so if I get the band, this area is resistance. And that's starting, yeah, so that started on the band, and the top of the band is going to be a strong resistance level. And this is why the alts are going to keep going up until this consolidates and then breaks it. I don't know how it's going to do it, but definitely I do believe it's going to break it eventually. But it's definitely facing a strong resistance. And if you look in the previous areas where there was strong resistance, you see here you got the W. Here you got the inverse head and shoulders. So the pullback comes back down. So this is a massive inverse head and shoulders, right? So if it's playing around like that, it still fulfills that inverse head and shoulders, maybe a triangle formation taking place where this is support. So anything, I do see a consolidation under resistance and then breaking through and then hitting this band here. So definitely, and that's pretty much a big V, isn't it? A continuation pattern. There's a lot of patterns. As you just play with the drawings, things do come out, new ideas come in. But it's all hypothesis, but it's good to see what's going to come potentially. Okay, let's look at my HOTS chart. HOTS still got a long way to go. As you can see, that purple band is what the resistance area. This looks like a buy-in zone for me. I believe this is the daily moving averages, yes. Is that it? Yeah, that is the daily. And the daily moving averages, 10 and 20, are acting as support. And I'm not sure if I did the fib level, but the structure, you can see the structure is giving us a clue. Maybe I can tie in the structure a bit. So this structure is pretty much acting as resistance, and I would trade this on the breakout. So if I would just go for the wicks a bit on that level, hot might be actually a good trade. Let's see if there's yeah, I would trade the breakout, and this might just go sideways, and this might be the pivot point where it breaks up. But this purple band is definitely strong resistance for this one. And if it breaks it, I would say that's your next entrance. Either accumulate here or wait for the break through that. INJ, which is I've been going long with INJ, and you can see why I'm going long, because I've done a bit of work on it, and now it's pulling back. Bugger. That's not good. So it's hit the second target, it's pulled back, and hopefully it finds support. And I do believe it's going to continue that. You can see that area as prior resistance, acting as support. I have it going to this level here. So I'm yeah. So that's against Bitcoin, by the way. So I still see INJ going, and you can see the structure. It doesn't have a long history. This ascending or descending triangle or wedge breakout hits the first target, and I still see it going all the way there, INJ. So that I would say that your buy-in is that level there, and this is against the dollar. It's actually hit my third target. Oh. Okay, I think it might go more. That's the minimum of third target. My maximum is up to there, which is about $28. Yeah, $27, $28. And I better keep an eye on that and not lose profit. I better start putting stop losses. I've got to raise them. So that was my second target. Actually, that should be my first target. That's my first target. That's my second target. And potentially that's my third target. Because the extension 1 is my realistically first target. Litecoin always does well when Bitcoin does. No, Litecoin against Bitcoin is not looking great. As I said in my previous video stream, I'm looking at for it to break this resistance level, because it's in this channel, and the middle of the channel is also resistance around here. So I'm not going to jump into Litecoin until I see it break this level. That's against the Bitcoin pairing. FTT. Okay, so FTT's moved a bit. It stuffed me up a few times in this area. So I made money, I lost money, made money, lost money. So I didn't like that, and I'm not going to go into FTT, but it's just broken that level. And I'll see this level as resistance. Actually, that blue line is more so. So yeah, it actually has a good formation, doesn't it? So let's look at FTT from a distance. I've heard this line for there for a reason. Okay, is it the height of that structure? Okay, and the breakout, which equals the all-time high. So yeah, FTT's got a good buying area. But yeah, you should board the dip. So okay, I'll leave it at that. Carver, got a few. Carver still we're trying to recover. Very similar to Bitcoin structure, actually. It's got that level there, but it doesn't have the momentum or conviction. So yeah, skip that. Maker. That's the buy zone support. It's building up to this, what I think is a triangle. That trend line is still acting as support, and it could potentially do a big move. So A, B, C, D. It's coming to this apex, and now is it going to drop or is it going to go up? That's what's very hard to tell at this point. But it's already done the formation there, broken it, and it's going sideways, so it doesn't show you conviction. So Maker, no, not interested. Matic, no, not interested. T-Fuel stuffed me up, got to admit. I was accumulating, and then I got stopped out and went all the way down there. So Theta and T-Fuel, unreliable. Can't trust them. And that was a good breakout retest. It might keep going. I do see this level as resistance, similar to what ADA did. And if we look at ADA, that's ADA against Ethereum. That's ADA. Like it breaks that resistance level and then goes underneath again. So inconsistency, ADA. Does my head in. So you think ADA, you know, everyone, ADA's great, but not now. It's doing shit against Ethereum. So here's Ethereum, ADA against Ethereum. Once I start to see that, I got rid of my ADA. And now here, so let me fix up my lines. I think it's a log that stuffed it up. Yep. I'm looking for ADA to break that. So there's this formation, and it's not breaking that formation. So I don't know if it's a bear flag or a reversal. I don't know what it's doing. Can't figure it out. So that's 1, 2, 3 formations. Okay, so that's the fib level. So if it was to break reversal, it looks like more like a reversal, to tell the truth, and it might just hit that level, that area as a resistance. Might break through, but it looks like ADA might perform better than Ethereum based on the way it's touching these things. So it could be close to a breakout from there. It's a hard one to read, ADA against Ethereum. Yeah. If I would just go with Ethereum and then wait for ADA to break this level before I even consider it. Yep. So what if you miss out a bit? But if you trade ADA with cash, then that's a different trade. I would wait for it to break that level again. It's broken a few times, so that's a good thing. It's broken it once. So it's like a breakout trade. You want to see that breakout, retest, and then go up. So I'll look for the retest, and pretty much this level. That's the level that you want to see it break it. All right. I don't want to keep going. Here's one for you guys. Some brand new coins that have come out, and actually, did I cover FTM? I did cover FTM, didn't I? Okay, there you go. Yeah, I did. So let's look at what's this one? SFI, Uniswap. That went crazy, so it's pulled back all the way down. So I wouldn't bother with that one. But how's this for you? There's a friend of mine who's on TikTok, and he's told me about Route. No, not Route. He's told me about another coin. So Route is one. If you're into Uniswap and all the rest, and Pancake, Route, you can't probably see it, but Route could be huge. And I posted this. There's a run-up, the uptrend, and it's pretty much come to 2 top levels of resistance. It might pull back or might just break through. And if it breaks through, it's going to accelerate. So route is potentially a big one. Currently, it's $9.80. And if I was a trader, I'll wait for the breakout. Otherwise, wait for the pullback. For the something like if you put your 10 and 20 moving average, find our average. There is a trend, actually, you can see it. I'll buy the trend line, roughly, if there's no bearish divergence. But route is one that I will go along. And there's one call today, someone told me, fine. Actually, you can't find it here. Where can we find it? Here we go. Where is it? Elrond, or was it L? Was it E? L? No. Let me have a look again. So that's Union. Well, we know Safe Moon, right? We know what that one's about. And that Safe Moon's pulled back a bit. Yep, so that looks all right. Safe Moon, it's done one parabolic. And what we had was E. Back up. Let me get it. Elongate, that's right. Forgot about that, didn't I? Elongate. I reckon this one's next. And it's starting to turn. Trading view, I don't actually might have it. Elongate. Let's have a look. We'll talk about dot next after this. So here's elongate. And we've got no chart. That's good. That doesn't help. All right, we'll skip that. Elongate is my tip to go long. Dot, I'll cover dot. So dot is a headache. Tell you what, it really gives me the shits because you can't figure out what it's doing. So this is a reaccumulation structure as far as I understand. Previous all-time high. So we had this massive acceleration all the way up. So definitely that's a resistance, right? It's probably the 1.618 fib level where it became a sell-off and we found this support level. So we got the triple bottom. And then we got the slightly overperformance, double top, and when we're back down again. Now we've got this, what looks like to be inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, I do think that's what's going to happen. And you want to see it break this level. So a breakout trade or buy that support there. So that's the buy zone. And if it breaks out, that's a breakout zone to buy. And I do believe that's the next resistance. And I'm being positive, and I think it's gonna break it because we've been in this sideways motion, this structure for a while. We've already broken it once and pulled back, and that pretty much goes with one of these wick-off structures. So many of these wick-off structures tell you that you touch the top a few times, touch the bottoms a few times, which is a reaccumulation, and then a shakeout period, and then up it goes. So my mind is that if dot is doing that, and you can compare that with that structure in some way. Doesn't have to be perfect, but the touches on the bottom and touches on the top after a big uptrend, this one is more likely to be a continuation. Where it's going to go, no idea. If I was to put a line in the sand, I'll get my Fibonacci extension and I'll go from the bottom to the top. And so you can see the 618 was the previous resistance, double top. But I would look at $55 as my first target if it was to break this level. So that's a pretty big gain. If we go up there, that's about 47, 50, yeah, nearly 50% improve, 50% markup. But if it was continuing, if it got to there, it's likely to go to the next level as well, which is the 618 level, or which is about $62 range as well. So DOT has potential. Pancake is being, Binance and Pancake or DOT are together, and that could potentially keep going. All right, I'll look at Dash against dollar. So I used to be a real Dash fan. I used to have the masternodes as well, and I used to get paid until it kept dropping and dropping, and I go, no more. USDT. All right, here we go. That's a chart there. And you can see I haven't touched Dash since then. And that's a deep pullback. Actually, that was a good run there, wasn't it? Nice run. 4-hour chart. Let's look at it a bit better. And you can see I've played around with the pricing a bit. From a high level, so we've, okay. So you can see the previous all-time high. No, that's not the previous all-time high. No. This chart doesn't have enough data. Let me look at another chart. Dash US. Is it Polynex or Bitfinex? Where is it? It's got much more history than that. I know that for sure. Where's Bitfinex? It doesn't have it. Surely there should be more than that. Did Bitfinex get rid of Dash? All right, let's look at that one. No, that doesn't have the history. We need the history because it's pretty important. Dash USD. All right, let's look at Polynex with the calculations. If that's, go to the daily. There we go. That's going to give us a bit of a perspective. Yeah. So if we look at this structure and where the Dash used to be, actually that's not a bad formation when you look at it. The bottom is really curving, and then you can see the acceleration once it did that. Now we'll get the fib level. What I can do, if I do that from there to there, it actually finds out as resistance. Okay. So that's why it's finding resistance at it's pulled back so much. It's trying to get out of this bottom phase. You can see that there was a good opportunity to trade here. All right, so that was the best entry point, which was reaccumulation period, retesting that structure, and then the breakout. So it's really come to a resistance level. And can it do another bull formation, or would it drop down or go up? On the daily, if I was to put a template on that and see what the indicators tell me on the daily, there is upward momentum, definitely. The MACD is turning around. Actually, today was a good move, wasn't it? Okay, so today Dash a good move. This is telling me there's upward momentum. So yeah, continue. If you miss that entry, that's tough luck. So on the shorter time period, you can see that is the daily resistance level. And if we go into a smaller time period, It's too early to tell the truth. If I wouldn't trade this now, no entry, because you want to see that break that level. You can see how this was rejected. If it broke down from that ascending triangle, and then there was a this is no different. This is very similar to Bitcoin in a way, and there was no retest. It just went up. So if I was to give advice, it has momentum to the upside. MACD tells me on the 4 hour, and I would use probably 8. No, not the 8. So 8 was here. 8, 10, 20 EMA ribbon was a good method of trading that. So I would look at an 8-hour candle before I go to the next one. I think it's going to get rejection. I could be wrong, because previously it's been resistance twice. Is it likely to break it again? Well, don't know. But I would trade this only with the breakout. If it was pulled back, I'll buy here. That would be a buy zone, and then up, because you got this formation telling you that it's support. And this black line is also a retest area. So I might retest it and then go up. But yeah, there's 2 methods to that. And if it breaks that level, definitely that will be the next level there for resistance, and so on. So I'll leave it on those terms. This was meant to be not too long, so I'm pretty much done. Solaris was, yes, Sol is also one been very discussed a lot. It's actually it's holding up well, and the MACD is turning around. So Sol might just keep continuing on with this formation. So that's one that you should keep an eye on. And guys, I'm done. There's no one else asking for anything, so I'm going to wrap it up. It's getting late, and one last look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin for the last time. I'm going to delete all this. So we got the rejection as expected, and question is how low would it go? This is on the way down, so that's not useful. I do think it's going to be something like this. Here we go. My opinion. Grab that. Potentially, I'll make that white. I think we're going to have something similar to that. Not all the way through, but this formation pulling back to the next fib level, similar to this. That's a good reference, I will think, because price breaks up, finds the resistance, pulls back. So I'm on the mindset that this is what's going to happen. Something like that for Bitcoin, and then it'll break through, and then really go slow around here, because we've got a lot of previous price action that took a while to break through. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Digibyte, okay. I did Digibyte for someone else the other day. So I've got the chart here. And that was my drawing. And it's broken that level. Hold on, has it broken that level? So that's the level. Okay, so what do I say here? Okay, it's got 2 targets, basically, and it's all based on this fib levels. Yeah, so let me adjust my fib just to make it sure it's accurate. So that's the top. Yeah, that's pretty much accurate, isn't it? That's the fib level. Yeah, so that's the next, and potentially that's a target there. So 1 is potentially a target, which is a double top. Always assume that the double top is a sell-off for the first top. Yeah, so I do believe rare, if Digibyte comes there, I would take a big chunk out of profits off the table. So I do think once this breaks this level, I don't know if it's going to break it now. So it's got one touch, two touches. I usually look for the third touch. So here's the one touch there. I'll expect. I'm thinking along these lines, and then up along those lines. So that's my thoughts on Digibyte. Vet. Oh, okay. Now all right. Well, let's look at Vet. Vet is done a big run. Yeah. So that was my mindset with Vet, and I still see downward pressure with Vet. If you can see the indicators. So this is the daily. Until I see a reversal, Vet's still got downward pressure. It doesn't mean it's going to drop much. It's just it might range in that area. So Vet might just range, and once we see these indicators turn around, or I see the momentum change, at the moment, Vet it's not displaying anything negative, but at the same time, it's not showing upward pressure. It's more sideways. So I would not jump into Vet, and you can understand that because look at the gains it's done. I have a gut feeling, just a gut feeling, Vet's going to do something similar to this level here. I think it's going to just go potentially like that, maybe up to this red one, and maybe it might drop after this red, and then up again, and so on. The reason is because it's hit a target that's significant. And if you consider what the alts are doing, yeah, if you haven't got Vet, I wouldn't touch it. Go for something that hasn't been extended so much. Go for something that's about to break out rather than, yeah, like Dodge. Let's do Dodge. Dodge is not going to fail. Where are we, Dodge? Dodge, Dodge, Dodge. That's Win. Win's looking good. I bought that. Bought at that support level. So Win's broken that structure. It might actually move up. Stop loss underneath this. Wi-Fi. Okay, here I think that's Dodge there. Is that Dodge? No. Digibyte. All right, I've got to pull it out. All right, let's get Dodge out. All right, with the Dodge. Did I delete the charts? Oh, Dodge. Oh, all right. Looks like I've got to pull it out. I also deleted it. Dodge USD. Dodge against, I'll do Bitfinex. I mean FTX. Okay. The miracle coin. Elon Musk's coin, isn't it? Now it is. So that was a double top there. We'll use a top. That's probably it there. Roughly there. Okay. Let me see if it's another level. Is it this one? Yeah, that's probably it there. So I'm using the fib level to measure support and resistance. So when it capitulated, that was a good support level to buy. Obviously, the 0.5 was a resistance, and it created that apex, ascending triangle, and broke up to the upside. It's doing something similar again. So can't tell by just looking at that. And we're going to just see what the indicators tell us. And the indicators don't tell us anything. Very, very tight. Right here, MACD is not telling us anything. It could go either way. This is not telling us anything. So the indicators are neutral, except for this one, which is the 4 hour is on the upside. Let's look at the 8 hour. 8 hour is bullish. So it's more on the upside than downside. definitely bullish. Yeah, definitely. Bigger time frame, it looks bullish. And it's finding that area, this level is resistance, right under that 618. Very much like most coins, when they hit the 618, they find resistance. It's not easy. So you can see that the first 8-hour candle was bullish, and then it's lost momentum. So my gut feeling is this is going to go sideways for a while. So in my find, if I was to get that fib, so it might just hold that level. And yeah, nothing tells me to jump in. Not yet. There's no entrance. So I would wait for the next 8-hour candle, see what it says. At the moment, it's not a cradle setup either. Actually, let's see from a different perspective. I'll look at the 4-hour. Yeah, so I think this is what's going to happen. First touch, second touch. I would look for the third touch. I will look for the third touch before I even consider jumping in. So it's got a bit of work to do. And then maybe the fourth touch, it'll break out. Okay, harmony, 1. So I want to check that one out. Oh, you bastard. It's broken through. So you can see my harmony setup. And that candle broke through. It's finding this level. Oh, man, I missed it. All right, let's use this one here. Okay. So you can see that's, if I move that up. Yeah. So that's probably the level. So it's finding resistance, but I do think this is going to go up. That's definitely resistance, and it broke this key level, which was, to me, this was resistance all the way through. So if that's resistance, and you can see that is like a breakout formation, consolidation under a major resistance. It's broken above. I think this is going to go to the 618. So short term, bit of a pause, hit the 618, which is about 16, 17 cents. And then maybe we'll see a bit of sideways movement. And if I was to look at this, and you can see why. Like, let's look for a nice level where there's a lot of resistance, where a lot of connections. So that might be it. No, it's pretty hard to find it. So what I'll do is I'll use the structure as that point there will be resistance. This point here will be resistance based on the structure. And the ultimate target based on this structure is there. So that's harmony's levels of resistance. And the 618 is definitely there. Let me do it in a different way. So I'll get rid of those. And that seems to make sense. If I was to use that, 618, yeah, 618 is already current resistance level. There you go. So if I wouldn't enter until it breaks that, but if you bought it there, definitely hold it, go long. And I would think that that's 1, 2, 3 touches. I don't think it'll take long before it breaks through it and then continue its way up. Pretty much basically to the all-time high, where there will be a good rejection. Okay, that's my harmony. And I think we're done, guys. I'm tired and I need rest. And I might do another update tomorrow morning. Well, what's the time now? maybe 8 hours from now, I might do another update. And I've done BNB, buddy. It's on the recording. You can have a look. And BNB, is it still moving? So BNB is look like it's holding that level. And if it holds that level for, I said, 8 hours, then that's a good sign to continue. Everything's bullish on BNB. There's upward momentum. Standard W formation, so I'm expecting this to keep going. So where is it? See how we got this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a continuation pattern. So definitely, and it's broken it, and I think it's going to continue on. So BNB is a good one. And I just want to see this candle close, 8 hour candle close above this prior resistance to give me confidence to keep going. Okay, that's it, guys. I'm wrapping it up. Please give me a like or a tick, and share my post, and I'll talk to you guys maybe tomorrow or Sunday. Okay, all the best. Cheers.